He is a scientist who fundamentally changed the structure of science and technology in the world, and whose name is rarely mentioned in textbooks, where the limits of his intelligence cannot be understood even today, despite his numerous experiments and inventions. Unfortunately, the number of people who know that Nikola Tesla invented the fluorescent lamp, neon lights, speedometer, ignition system in automobiles, the basics of radar, electron microscope, microwave oven and radio is unfortunately limited. The patent of wireless communication used in all radio and television broadcasts also belongs to Nikola Tesla. Fluorescent, Mr. Device, laser technology, robot technology, earthquake machine are also projects produced based on their theories. He has over 700 patents. Especially the ability to carry electricity wirelessly, and proving it explains how unique and crazy inventor he is. Nikola Tesla, who made inventions far ahead of his time, is one of the greatest scientists ever to inspire many people today. Developing technologies that can be an alternative to the wired electricity distribution that Edison has imposed on the whole world, and even that can be considered the most ideal electric current, Tesla, in a sense, is one of the symbolic names of the stance that protests the system. Here is a Nikola Tesla story with the immortal technologies he developed, who lived with the dream of providing free energy to the whole world. Nikola Tesla was born in Simijan, a Serbian region within the borders of Austria at that time, in 1856. He had a psychologically bad childhood after the death of his older brother. His obsessive and asocial life, which lasted until his university years, caused Tesla to have a history of depression. Tesla, who left his school life for these reasons and worked in various engineering companies, gained information on many subjects that would open his horizons in the future from these studies. Tesla, who immigrated to America as a poor man, works in heavy jobs such as digging a hole, and while making a living, he was also telling the people around him about the ideas in his mind and the dreams he wanted to realize. Nikola Tesla works for Thomas Edison when he first came to the United States in 1884. Edison had just invented the tuned light bulb, and he was trying to develop a system for the transmission of electricity, and he asked Tesla for help in this regard, saying that if he could solve the problem in the system, he would get $50,000. Tesla solved the problems in the system and saved Edison from $1 million expense, but he never got the promised money. When Tesla asked for the money he deserved, Edison mocked him by saying, "I guess you don't know much about us Americans' sense of humor, Mr. Tesla." When Edison was on his deathbed, he called Tesla to ask for forgiveness, but Tesla did not fulfill Edison's last wish and did not go to him by saying, "I will spend my time by finding the necessary inventions for humanity instead of listening to empty words." One day, Nikola Tesla was walking around the park with her friend, and she dreamed of a groundbreaking concept for a new electric motor. And right there, she scratched the ground. This simple drawing became a patent for the induction motor. This would be the standard electric motor in the world. It is now used for everything nowadays. From tools to assembly, from hybrid vehicles to industrial power plants, this is what sets Tesla apart. He was a genius and achieved everything he dreamed of. That's why it was unique and extraordinary. Tesla was a genius, far ahead of its time. Now let's take a look at the inventions that Tesla imagined and realized 100 years ago. Thinking machines. Tesla became interested in robotics in the 18th century. He amazed everyone with his invention of the wireless remote-controlled ship. In those years, it was also the precursor of smartphones. Here's what Tesla said about robotics. Trying to build machines that think in a lab setting. Cosmic waves and space. Nikola Tesla, who is also very interested in the existence of life in space, sent sound waves from his own laboratory to space for the first time in the world in March of the year 1899 and recorded the cosmic sound waves coming from space. However, in the period when he succeeded in this, these studies were almost thrown away because cosmic sound waves had no place in world science. Tesla also proved that they could be watched by sending short-wave pulses on distant objects in August and collecting the reflected short-wave pulses on a fluorescent screen. Tesla stated that he received radio signals from Mars and Venus. Today we know that it actually received signals from distant stars. But at that time very little was known about the universe. The press, on the other hand, described his works as disgrace and had fun. It is where the traditional electric fair flourished, and often Barnum Bailey put a large tank in the middle of the large area where the circus operates. And he filled it with water. He put a boat with a 1-meter-long antenna mast to float on this small lake. Inside the boat was a radio receiver. At his request, Nikola Tesla did various things such as going forward, turning right or left, stopping, going back, turning the lights on and off, thanks to remote control. The unforgettable show made the headlines on the front pages of daily newspapers as well as fascinated all the audience. Everyone who watched Nikola Tesla believed that Tesla did it with brain power. Based on Nikola Tesla's remote control, space shuttles, satellites and devices that can be controlled by remote control have been developed today. In short, whatever we use with the remote control today, we owe everything to Nikola Tesla. The Americans asked Edison for help in finding German submarines during the war. And let's use Tesla's suggestion, energy waves. The device we call radar today was discovered 25 years later, because Edison was fiercely opposed to his idea. Tesla showed the firsts of radio 10 years ago, and it was claimed that the radio was invented by Marconi and patented. Although it was not accepted in time, it was accepted that the invention of the radio belonged to Tesla in the year Tesla passed away. In 1943, the Supreme Court ruled that the patents obtained by Marconi were invalid due to Tesla's previous statements. Unfortunately, many sources still do not mention Tesla's name for the invention of the radio. Also, Marconi's radio was not transmitting sound. It was just transmitting signals. However, Tesla had also succeeded in sound transmission years ago. Tesla also said about Marconi, "Marconi is a good boy. Let him keep going. He already uses 17 of my patents." The fact that he can light up electric bulbs from miles away and that he can control forces that can destroy nature, such as earthquakes and lightning, clearly shows this. With a high-frequency transformer, the Tesla coils, which he invented, allowed him to pass high-voltage current through his body without damaging it, in a way that would burn the gas tube he was holding in his bare hand. Tesla focused on this area. Working with mechanical and physical vibrations caused a real earthquake around the lab on Houston Street. The mechanical oscillator of the one approaching the natural resonance frequency of the building shook the old building. The timed pulses produced by the device moved the furniture in the police station 2 blocks away. But since he was in the epicenter, he did not realize what was going on until the police arrived. Thus, Nikola Tesla also proved the mathematical theories of resonance, vibration, and the 7 natural periods. So he invented a kind of earthquake machine. It is obvious that a country that will transform Tesla's inventions into weapons will be superior to other countries. Today, it is claimed that America made an earthquake generator with the work of Tesla. HAARP is a high-frequency, active solar research program. Rumors circulated that the trials carried out within the scope of this project had triggered devastating earthquakes around the world. It was interesting for those who witnessed the earthquake to see clusters of light and glare. While Henry Ford was showing off in the years when he produced his first motor vehicle, Tesla went to him and explained that there was no need for such a big engine. He did not listen to Tesla because he considered himself too superior. Thereupon, Tesla invented the ignition system and had to show it to Ford. But as always, his bad luck showed up here too, and Ford got his patent to use the ignition system. Nikola Tesla said for the first time that electricity could be transmitted from a source to the environment wirelessly and in very high amounts. The most important project of Tesla was wireless energy transmission. It is recorded that he was able to light 20 light bulbs from a distance of 25 miles without cables. When those who heard these ideas of Tesla introduced him to investors who wanted to make a breakthrough in the energy sector, a life full of experiments and studies began for Tesla. Crossing paths with Thomas Edison during this period, Tesla also entered into a great competition with Edison when he could not get a reward for his work. However, Tesla also turned down the Nobel Prize, which was awarded to him after his work. The biggest award for Tesla has been the achievement of his work. Tesla's dream was to provide free energy to the world. In 1900 years, with $150,000 provided by the investor J.P. Morgan, Tesla started the construction of the radio broadcasting system in New York. This broadcasting tower was to connect the world's telephone and telegraph services. It would also transmit pictures, stock market data, and weather information worldwide. Unfortunately, Morgan stopped investing in the business when he realized that this meant free energy to the world. Unfortunately, all his work was stopped and the given budget was cut. The world thought he was crazy after the transmission of the sound and picture, which had not yet been heard. If the support had not been cut that day, people today would be able to use electricity wirelessly for free. Tesla built the world's first hydroelectric power plant in Niagara Falls. The most well-known idea of Nikola Tesla, which has the potential to give a new direction to the known technology in the world, was on alternating current. His ideas were revolutionary, with great consistency with the numerous US and European patents he received in this field. Tesla started to use the power of Niagara Falls for electricity generation with his work on alternating current. Today, Niagara Falls cascades in front of an imposing Nikola Tesla statue. He had numerous experiments and discoveries on electricity. He went down in the history of the world as the person with the highest number of patents with 700 inventions, and he received patents in January 7, 1943. Scientists continue to scan his notes line by line today. Many of his crazy theories are proven by today's famous scientists. Tesla, who has an extraordinary character and crazy ideas, has never been successful in money management. He spent the last years of his life constantly changing hotels to escape his debts. While the man who invented the modern world might have been a billionaire, he died almost penniless at the age of 87, of heart failure, in a room of the New Yorker Hotel on January 10, 1943. That room was named after Nikola Tesla. Shortly before he died, he had invented a type of controllable man-made ray gun called the telephores. In other words, he was talking about shooting down an airplane flying in the sky by creating lightning. In fact, the newspapers of the period announced this news as follows. Master of electricity, pioneer of radio, Nikola Tesla has invented a machine that can destroy huge fleets of ships and planes, capable of sweeping armies with speed thanks to the powerful death ray it produces, he announced. However, this invention and all of Tesla's plans were protected by the US government after his death and were not shared with anyone. The drawings and notes that Tesla left behind when he died were kept secret by the US government.